Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with FX Market Insight for Monday, the 19th of October. All right, now just coming out of the Friday's trading, you're just checking out the US equity market. Now, it's a good way to test or see what's going on with this, if there's a risk on, risk off profile in the market. NASDAQ down 0.39, Dow Jones up 0.39. It's pretty sort of neutral sort of stuff. So there's not a lot of follow through. If anything of note, gold, silver down a little bit. But what we're seeing is there's a real indifference of what the US dollar is doing at the moment, right, or where it's going. Now, if I just give you a look at the dollar index itself, you see that it's pretty much trading sideways. We've tested the downside. We've now tested sort of the top side, back in the range. We're now starting the week. We've got support and resistance, but we just need that clear direction. At the moment, the dollar, well, markets have just opened up, right? Well, they've been open for a couple of hours, but there's no clear momentum, no clear tangible direction that you can sort of work with on pretty much any of the major pairs at the moment. And that's primarily because, what we're getting closer towards, this is going to be quite prevalent as we get close to the US election. It's political stuff, not just geopolitical, but really political toing and froing about the election, what's going to happen. Now, there's been speculation of, Biden wins, equity markets crash. The next day it was Biden loses or wins and it goes up. So there's a lot of speculation out there at the moment. If anything, you're looking at, say, like the CFTC, the commitment of traders data, basically gives you a recap of where the market was set. Looks like there's the dollar shorts have been trimmed, right? There's a lot of uncertainty around the election, and that sort of makes the US dollar go up, as a bit of a safe haven. So they've trimmed their sort of short. So it doesn't tell us too much, except, the market's really uncertain where we are right at the moment. Okay, now if I just give you a look at the charts, just to, get you up to speed with what's going on here. Aussie, well, I noticed this on sort of Friday. The RBA came out and said, there's possible chance of lower rates. The Aussie employment data wasn't exactly weak, but this thing just slowly drifted to the downside anyway. In that case, euro had sort of fallen on some weaker euro data, and now it's sort of picked itself up off the floor again. So if anything, you're probably looking for a sell on a rally here in euro. I'd say initially, sterling was the pair that was really coming to the forefront last week with the Brexit situation. No deal. Sterling looks like it's stabilized. I don't think we're going to see any major moves. Now, I've seen some, so-called experienced punters out there sort of saying sterling could drop 10% if there's no deal. Well, I think all the carnage is out of the market, right? We're just going to sort of play it out from here. Dollar yen just trading sideways. Kiwi's holding up in the range. You would have seen just with this move here on Aussie Kiwi, looks like a little slight correction in that, but otherwise not too much. Oil sitting around $40. Saw dollar CAD top out at 132.60. Now very happy back in the middle of the range there as well. So going from this is how your charts sort of look to start the week. And there's not a huge amount of I'm not getting a feeling for one clear direction or one clear opportunity as far as the currencies go. So you just got to wait, right? This is nothing you can do to force the hand of the market to say, well, which pairs are we trading here? And if I just bring you back across to the daily market insight, the top pick here, we haven't actually updated that yet. There's nothing really to sort of put in there just at the moment, but just coming down to, looking at trying to identify market direction at the moment. Once again, we're getting these short-term moves on some of the pairs, but we're not getting the follow-through on the longer-term daily charts. You're looking for that matchup to really get some confidence, to really jump into a solid trade. So when you only have short-term direction, to me, you can still trade, but I would generally reduce my trade size because I'm less confident because I've got less directional factors working for me. Now, Mondays, when you come into Monday trading, it's good to have a look through the week and see where the data is going to come out. Now, obviously, I've been saying this a lot. The macroeconomics are very inconsistent. What's impacting, what's not. Some of the US data is, some European, twos and fro's. What we've got at the moment is just have a look what's coming out and what it can impact as if we did have normal market conditions. And then you can see if it really comes into play. Now, there's a whole bunch of Chinese data coming out. today. So maybe just keep an eye on that. That's going to directly or should directly impact Aussie and Kiwi. Now, there's a behind the scenes, you may not know it, but there's a huge amount of angst between Australia and China at the moment. It stems from Australia's relationship with the US and backing the US on all these trade issues that the US has been having, or Trump. So, there's talk about them not taking coal from Australia, which is Australia's biggest export to China. So that could be a big thing to look at as we go forward. Then you've got Powell testifying, Christine Lagarde speaking, the ECB president, and there's a bunch of things coming out actually. So just keep an eye on the markets. Now, it's not like you'd think Fed Chairman Powell would have the ability to move the market. To me, it's just more election related just at the moment. So we have to sort of wait and see how that plays out. So when you come into Monday's trading and you're looking across the board and you're trying to work out, assess, okay, where's momentum going to come from? You almost need the North American session to start to see if the equity markets are impacting. If they're not, what news is coming out, and connect the dots. Once you know where momentum is coming from or what's pushing the currencies around, that's when you can really jump in. And that's what you need to wait for, right? So trading first thing Monday, to me, is problematic unless you got a real fetish to get things rolling. I'd be sort of waiting at this point. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheerio.